So hello viewers, I welcome you once again to the Literature Corner with Teacher Lovis, where literature is made fun, easy, enjoyable and meaningful. So today's video I'm going to focus on mainly the common mistakes people or students usually make in answering poetry questions. So today we are going to focus on the common mistakes while answering poetry questions, and the right way we are supposed to answer. So number one, most poems, uh, when when a question is presented about poetry, or when a poem is given to students, the first question is usually to explain the subject matter. And subject matter means what the poem is about. So most students, this is one of the mistakes they usually make. One, they usually explain the subject matter in different paragraphs, which is wrong. When explaining subject matter, students usually make a mistake of explaining the subject matter in different paragraphs, but that is wrong. When explaining subject matter, we use strictly one paragraph. We only use one paragraph, and when we are answering, we say, an example, the poem is about. We either start with, you can either say the poem is about, or you can either start with the poem is an account of. So let me give you here an example of unexplained subject matter. For example, I have used the poem, My Husband's Tongue is Bitter. It is in the Senior 3 New Vision textbook. I have used that poem called My Husband's Tongue is Bitter. So some of you have read that poem before, and in that poem there was a village housewife who was describing to us the husband's mistress called Clementine, and she was telling us of how she bleaches her skin and tries to look like a white woman. She dresses like a white woman, she acts like a white woman, like she completely lacks all the African values an African woman should have. So that is the poem I'm going to use. It is in the New Vision Senior 3 textbook of this new current Ugandan syllabus, and it's on okay, so that is the one that I'm going to use. So I was explaining how we answer subject matter. So assuming they have asked you to explain the subject matter of that poem, My Husband's Tongue is Bitter by Lawino, someone could answer like this, and just like I have told you, we explain subject matter in strictly one paragraph. For example, you could say, the poem is about a village housewife called Lawino who is expressing her jealousy and extreme disappointment in her husband or child. I repeat, the poem is about a village housewife, Lawino, who is expressing her jealousy and extreme disappointment in her husband or child, who has shamelessly cheated on her with another woman called Clementine, who lacks African traditional values and has tried all sorts of cosmetics to bleach her skin into becoming white. So that is an example of how you can answer subject matter of a poem. And just like I've said, we strictly use one paragraph. So avoid using different paragraphs when answering subject matter. So the common mistakes, number one was writing subject matter in different paragraphs. So now I think that is done. Now number two, when explaining subject matter, we use our own words. We use our own words depending on the meaning that we have derived from from the poem.